run into trouble because its titular character is named Seetha, and the accompanying tagline, "I'm not a virgin," has supposedly offended religious sentiments, given the importance of the name in the Ramayana. Based on the complaint filed by a member of the BJP, the Neredmet police in Hyderabad registered a case against the makers and lead female actor of the film. The plot revolves around a character named Seetha, who tells the men who wish to marry her that she's not a virgin. Seeta plays a rape victim in the film, and the narrative attempts to show how society stigmatizes such survivors. The film's makers have lashed back at critics and served legal notices to the people who abuse them. Taking to Twitter, Kaushik wrote that he made the film to express his support to rape victims. He said, and I quote, "I made a short film named Seeta with the tagline, 'I'm not a virgin.' Seeta was only a name of the character in my film, and the title has absolutely no connection to any gods of Hindu culture. People with crooked motives have created unnecessary issues out of the name." For more of the story, I'm joined by Vishnu Jain, lawyer, and also Lokpriya, who's with us at this point in time. Lokpriya, clearly this is an issue that has created a huge amount of controversy, but the filmmaker says his intention was only to highlight the kind of violence that women face in society that is a reality today.
He has gotten into wrong reasons just because of the title of the short film. The director has defended his decision, saying that the movie's title has nothing to do with anything of religious sentiment. He does not want to offend anybody's religious sentiment. He only wanted to make a short film that highlights the kind of violence that women go through, especially rape victims, and it is in that context that he had made this movie. And the female lead playing in the movie is named Seeta, and that is the reason why the movie is named as such, and there is no connection to any kind of religious sentiments. And the director as well as the lead actor of the movie have been receiving several threat calls and derogatory remarks that are being posted on their social media websites. This has been the order of the day ever since this movie was released on YouTube. Now the director has gone ahead and given legal notices to these people, and he says that the entire issue has been blown out of proportion, and some people who want to tarnish his image are trying to cause hardship to him and his family, as well as the lead actor has also been under line of fire for acting in this movie. There has been cases that have been registered against the lead actor as well as the director, but many social activists in Hyderabad are appalled at how much people get influenced so easily and try and blame creative people for just doing their work.
Well, yes, and stay with us, Lokpriya. Vishnu Jain, I'll also come back to you, but I have our first caller joining us on the show. Kalpana Ravi is with us from Mumbai. Go ahead, Kalpana.
Good evening, Madhav. You know,
Good evening,
this is
Kalpana.
getting
Go ahead,
really
please.
too ridiculous.
Yes, please go ahead, Kalpana.
Yeah, good evening. You know, I think this is getting a little too ridiculous. Sometimes I really think some of them are just doing this for publicity, you know, to just get more views into their film or whatever. I'm not discrediting anybody for anything, but it's really getting, every day this is getting on and on and on, you know, some religion. I mean, if you don't want to get into controversy, you could have avoided it in the first place. Now, after doing all this, why are you getting into it and now saying, "I'm sorry, I didn't do it"? Really looks, it's a publicity stunt for people in the film industry now. I really think that is what it's getting into. If you don't want controversies, just avoid it from day one. Just don't get onto it, and then you'll get your space on media for the next 2 days, and your film will be a hit. I mean, is that what you want? I mean, I really don't understand. I come from the media, and I'm saying this. It's really getting a little too ridiculous at the moment, you know. And I think you guys should avoid giving them so much of publicity.
Right.
Thank you so much.
All right, Kalpana. Thanks so much for joining us with your views. Anil Dikshit is joining us from Gwalior at this point in time. Go ahead, Anil.
Yeah. As an advocate, I must tell you, this man who is saying it has nothing to do with religion. and he's pronouncing name of a particular character of a religion, which is known everywhere in the world. He cannot stand in a court of law for proving his innocence. He has got to be prosecuted for this nonsense. He should not have chosen this name. He should have chosen any other name.
Thanks so much, Anil, for joining us. Let me go across to Vishnu Jain, a lawyer who joins us from Delhi. Vishnu, of course, our callers have expressed their views, but the question is this, that the idea behind making this film is to confront a reality that exists in Indian society, the kind of, violence that women have to face, and that too the heinous crime of rape and sexual violence. Clearly, of course, this could be anyone from society, so using a name isn't too much being read into the kind of name of the character?
I agree with the story of the film, and nobody, I think, in this country has any dispute or disregard with the story of the film. Today what we are disputing is the name, the cause title of the film. So that is what everybody is against us, that the title of the film should be changed. And I think that demand is completely genuine, that demand is completely constitutional, because if you remember when Gadar movie was released, so there was a character which Amisha Patel played, and she was shown to have having a married relationship with Sunny Deol, and there was a huge law and order problem in the entire country. So when a character which was played by Amisha Patel can have law and order problems in the entire country, we are doing all the legal aspects. If you would have seen all the facts which you have narrated right now, it's all legal proceedings which have happened, legal notices have been issued. So we have just pointed our objection to the title of the film. Seeta should be removed, that's the only demand, and I think that's a fair demand, because if you see, the right to freedom of expression under Article 19 of the Constitution has reasonable restrictions. It's a very fixed principle of fundamental principle of constitutional law, that your right to swing your arm ends where my nose begins. So if somebody is getting hurt, if a particular community is getting hurt, and they are pointing their objections, and to that the film producer has no disregard, because if you just amend the title of the film, who will be harmed? If from Seeta you amend the title of the film, we will also be happy, all the society will be happy, and your film will stand as it is. So I am saying, what is the problem, what is the harm in changing the title? And if you are not doing then certainly you have double motives.
Well, but the question is also this, Vishnu, if we are to take this particular name, Seeta, we are to assume that it is removed, that there are n number of names. People could object to another name tomorrow saying that it is associated with some sort of religious sentiment. End of the day, these are the sort of names that exist in society. Where do you draw the line? Where can the line be drawn?
Today people are, line is drawn on the name of Seeta. Today the Hindu society, the public at large has problem with the name Seeta. Seeta you should not show with this cause title, Seeta I am not a virgin. This cause title should be amended and some other name should be proposed. And that deliberations and communications can happen with the various persons in Hyderabad and various persons across the country. But I am saying that if somebody's religious feelings are getting hurt, if somebody's religious sentiments are getting hurt, what's the harm in changing the title of the film? That's my short point. Nobody is against the story of the film. We are not opposing the theme of the film. We are only opposing the title of the film. And I think that's a fair demand. That's a demand which we are making within our constitutional limits. That's a demand which we are making within our legal limits. And it's all legal rights which we have assailed. There is no criminology, there is no illegalities which we have done. The law has not been taken into their hands. And that is why I am saying through the medium of NewsX and your channel, that if religious sentiments of a particular community is getting hurt, so why not it can be changed? When Gadar movie was shot and there were a lot of religious sentiments which were hurt, there were various scenes, Madhav, you know, I need not tell you, there were various scenes in the movie which were cut down by the director. So if something is, some religious sentiments are hurt of Hindu society at large, then why this title can't be amended is the point which I'm trying to make.
Well, yes, Vishnu, in fact, stay with us. We will keep coming back to you for more on the story, but I must request all our viewers to call in with your views, express yourself on what you think about this particular story. Should, in fact, the name of this film, Seeta, be changed? because clearly the objection that is coming in is that it is, of course, a name that has religious overtones, and that's certainly something to which a section have expressed their reservations. Or should the filmmakers who claim that that the film is about a very important social issue, violence against women, and clearly, of course, at some level there is no religious overtone as far as their naming of the film is concerned. What do you think? Call us and express yourself for more on this particular story. Let me also go across to Lokpriya, who's standing by at this point of time. Lokpriya, what do the filmmakers have to say? What Vishnu has very clearly raised is the issue that they are only demanding a change as far as the title is concerned. They are not demanding any change as far as the content of the film is concerned. So what would be the harm in changing the name? Because obviously this is a name that has religious connotations and implications in a country like India.
Well, the filmmaker has stood his ground, and he says that the movie is based on his titular character, and the movie's name Seeta has nothing to do with any kind of religious sentiment, of offending anyone's religious sentiment. And he says that ever since the movie was released on YouTube, he has been getting several threatening calls and derogatory remarks defaming him and his family. And now finally he has taken a legal step of sending legal notices to those people who had abused him. The kind of abuse on the director and the female actor who played in this movie is very open, and it has been shared on his social media sites. And the filmmaker says that he has been subjected to utmost cruelty in this form, and he continues to say that he only wanted to make a movie to highlight the kind of suffering a woman goes through, especially rape victim, and now the movie has gotten into controversy.
All right, that's of course the stand as far as the filmmaker is concerned. Vishnu, if I can come back to you. In fact, the question is this, that we do know that legal action is being initiated by the filmmaker. What will the next step be as far as those who are protesting the name of this film is concerned?
See, to those who are protesting against the name of the film, I would recommend them and I would advise them through the medium of NewsX that they should do it within the constitutional limits, they should do it within the purview of law, they should not take law into their own hands. And so far as the title of the film is concerned, Seeta should be changed. That is my personal view, that is my legal view also, because see, we are a country which has unity in diversity. So if there is a section of society which believes that this particular name should be changed, and by changing that name, the theme of the movie, the whole movie is not affected. So I think there is no harm, and if the director is not changing it, I must say very firmly, very strictly, that director has double motives to it. It is not that simple as it looks like.
All right. Also, Lokpriya, what are we hearing from the makers of the film as far as, you know, their legal action is concerned? Because clearly this demand that is being made from them is the fact that if they do not change the film's name, it displays a double intention on their part. That's the claim that Vishnu is making. What do the filmmakers really have to say about this particular aspect of it?
They have been receiving several derogatory remarks and threat calls, and they also go on to tell about how they have been subjected to these kind of abuse in the past several days. He says that he wanted to make a sincere movie on the difficulties faced by women, especially rape victims. So it remains to be seen how the issue goes forward from here on, especially rape victims. So it remains to be seen how the issue goes forward from here on, and whether the director accepts to change the name of his film so as to ensure that there is no more controversy on this issue.
All right, I'll have to thank Vishnu for joining us on this particular story. Thank you so much for joining us at this point of time, Vishnu. In fact,